Hey, everybody. Oh my gosh, there's two people already on. Hopefully, you weren't waiting. It is 6:03. So, 6:03 Mountain Time. My goal was to start at 6. So, I'm a little bit late, only by a couple minutes. Hey, Jason. Hey, X. Master. I don't know about Bernie anymore. Hey, Carlos. Thank you, X. Yes. Storms. Rocco, Keith. I need to get to Baltimore. Hey, Wendy. Okay, hold on, guys. Let me get this in. I don't know if you guys know this. So, I facilitate a uh, online support group for homeless people, and the first place that I um, share is the group, and the reason for that is there's two really big reasons. Well, three. I love homeless people. And the second reason is a few of them come and moderate the chat, but also they engage with you all in the chat. So they keep me honest, here, this is a channel about homelessness. But if you want to talk about marketing or any other stuff, I'm game. I'm surprised those questions don't come up that much. Hang on. So live on YouTube, bam. But that they're here engaging with you. See, Addie's already in the house. Okay, let me get it so it's live chat so I can see all of your chats. Hey, Gary. Hey, Pig. Kathy. Hello, Arizona. Hi, Anna. Hi, B. Sandy. Hello. Thank you for your kind words. And Keith, thank you for your kind words. Anna, hello. Police Chaplain Misty. Hey, where are you a chaplain? I think chaplains are something we need more of. I actually like chaplains. Oh my gosh, what's happening here? I got an antenna coming out of my hair. So if you guys didn't know, this is what I've been trying to grow my hair back long for a very long time. And I did some crowdsourcing. I did some crowdsourcing earlier today. The funny thing about crowdsourcing is whenever you crowdsource, usually you ask, a yes or no question or a Pepsi Coke question, and the crowd is supposed to help you. And what happens is the crowd ends up just giving 50-50 answers. You almost get the equal amount, and then you end up having to make the decision yourself anyways. But I crowdsourced, should I cut my hair? And a friend of mine who happens to not have hair said, well, you got it, and so my gosh, I can't argue with that. And there's a very attractive woman who I will not name, who is single. She's in a different country, so nothing's jumping off. But when she said grow it along, it was the thing. So what happens is I try to grow it long, and then something like I'll get a television hit like NBC or CNN or something, big speaking gig, and I get nervous, so I get a haircut, and then I start all over again. Well, this time I'm gonna do it. I'm growing it long, even though when you grow your hair long, it gets this awkward stage where it has wings coming out. Well, that's where I'm at now. So, how are you all doing? Happy Sunday. Should I well, you know what? I'm going to tweet this one out. I don't do this a lot, but let's see what happens. So I happen to be okay. We're gonna do it. We're gonna grow it. Let's see. Let's get it on the Invisible People account. So I am happy. So I am happy that I made it tonight. I'm really working on keeping this at a regular schedule. And it seems as long as there's Wi-Fi wherever I'm traveling, and I'm even going to put it on the Invisible People page and my home. Let's see. I'm hoping the internet works for me tonight. And one more. Okay. Okay, that's all the sharing. I'm back. Happy Sunday. I am in Denver. I'm going to be in Denver for a little bit, thanks to the mayor's and CEO campaign. I have a bunch of socks, thanks to Hanes, and we're going to, do what we do, help empower homeless people to share their own stories, educate the public, highlight people that are working to help homeless people that are doing a lot of great things. I was here before. There's a couple of stories that just stick in my mind. One, there's a great ministry here, and it's, it's a ministry, and it's called Socks Place, and it's a hangout place for homeless youth travelers. And if you know me at all, um, uh, I just love travelers. I saw a couple of today. I didn't get to engage with them. For those of you that don't know, I have 30 stitches in my back. I probably should not have traveled yesterday carrying a backpack, but I had to get out here. And then today, so I was walking around a little bit, and today I fell. My shoe came off. It hurt I was in public. I was going upstairs, and my sneaker came off, and I fell, and I nailed my knee. So I didn't get to do as much walking around as I had hoped to today. I did meet David, who just got out of the hospital, and another woman, Tammy, who says the shelters here kick people out. Well, they wake everybody up at 4:30, and they kick everybody out at 6:30, even in the rain and cold. And that's a typical shelter model. In the United States of America, that is a typical shelter model. And you might think, well, getting up at 4:30 in the morning is great. Have you ever slept in a homeless shelter? Oh my gosh, let me talk about snoring. Um, uh, Snoring in a homeless shelter is, oh my gosh, it's like a jackhammer in New York City. It's and by the time you settle in, they do lights out. I know I worked a winter shelter, and a guy got his dentures stolen. He had them in his baseball cap, and somebody stole his dentures. So, you know, I know when I was homeless, I didn't sleep much on the streets or even when I was in a shelter. Yeah, it's a little story. I don't talk about that much. So my first homeless shelter was Hollywood and Vine Recovery Center, and it was a pretty funky place. There was 30 people. I was the only white dude. It was really amazing for me and for them because we had really some open conversations about race. So that part about it was very wonderful. But I remember my first night, and it was bunk beds. So there's 15 bunk beds, and the mattress was probably like this thick. And who knows how beat the springs were underneath it. But I'd been sleeping on the ground. And this was my first mattress. This is my first time sleeping on something soft besides grass for a while. And I got to tell you, it was heaven. I mean, I laid down and it was, oh my gosh, it was heaven. And what's interesting enough is, now I have a nice mattress. My last job, I bought a nice mattress, and I don't have that feeling. The cheap shelter bed mattress, was just the other one that, and I don't know why I'm talking about this. So, I don't know why you guys are tuning in on Sunday nights to listen to me rant, but thank you. I enjoy spending the time with you every Sunday. I remember when I got my driver's license back, and that was a miracle in itself. And I was living in a church. I lived in a church for 7 years. And unless you're a priest or a pastor or a nun or a reverend, or, you shouldn't be living in a church that long. Anyways, that's a whole nother rant. So I was in this church for years, and I was able to get my driver's license back. And I remember they needed an errand, and they had this, ministries and nonprofits get cars donated. Most of them are junk. And this one was, oh my gosh, it was junk. I don't even remember the kind of car it was, but I was surprised that brakes didn't work. I mean, it was just squeaky, and it was a horrible car. And I pulled out onto the 101. If you're not familiar with freeways in Los Angeles, the 101, the 405, if the devil was named after a freeway, it'd be a toss-up between the 101 and the 405, because they are both horrible parking lots, right? And here I'm with this horrible car, could hardly move, and I felt free. I mean, I remember, because it was like, oh, I'm getting my life back. I'm moving forward. Good stuff is happening. And speaking of good stuff, William, thank you for the super chat. Just so you guys know, I approve this. I don't do this chat for fundraising. I mean, someday we might do like a webathon or something. And I'm kind of waiting for YouTube. They have a donation platform in beta. I'm waiting for them to allow me to become a beta tester. And then we might do some special shows for fundraising. This is just to talk to you guys. And I'm grateful when people, donate. I'm grateful, but I'm not here to raise money. That's probably been one of my faults, is that this is all electronic panhandling, right? Whether I'm flying a sign in front of a CVS, or I'm saying give me money on the internet, it's still panhandling, right? And I hate panhandling. I hate begging for money. So it's probably hurt me in many ways. But let me just check up on the chat and see how you all doing. Hey, James from Southern Oregon. Hopefully I get to visit someday. Uh-oh. My chat just jumped. My chat just jumped, and somebody called me out here. So I'm from Portland, Maine. I'm sorry to mention you and Invisible. Wow. You don't have to worry about not mentioning us, William. You're great. You know what you're doing up there with peers and support up there in Maine is really something. Oh my gosh, Derek is, I assume you're responding to my rant about sleeping in a shelter. He says, I slept next to a person who talked about killing in his sleep. Yikes. Hey, dirty trout. I like that. Um, if you're homeless, now only if you're homeless, if you are homeless watching this chat, this is only for homeless people. There's plenty of other groups on Facebook that for everybody. This is only for homeless people and formerly homeless people. If you are visible.com, we are visible.com. It's an online support group for homeless people. Derek, who's in the group here, Addie, who's in the group, several people, are homeless and they're part of that group. It is really, please, again, if you're not homeless, go. We love you. We don't not like house people, but this is really a peer support group for homeless people and formerly homeless people. So Dirty Trout, we would love to have you in the support group. Hey Tina, hope you are well. Oh my gosh, Canine Therapy, thank you so much. And James, oh my gosh. Wow. And you must be because it's pounds, you must be across the pond. Whereabouts are you located? I've been trying to get over to London. So I'm just so you I'll, I'll give you an update of what's going on right now. So I'm doing this thing with the mayors and CEOs, which is they wanted me to go some time ago. However, I had to take care of my mom. So I kept on putting them off, and they were grateful enough. I mean, they're gracious enough to allow me to do that. So this YouTube thing came up, and then I had to put them off a little more. If you guys don't know, we're producing 4 to 5 VR 180 videos on homelessness. And that should be coming out in a couple of weeks. Now, really, what I wish I was doing right now, it's kind of weird. Everything just keeps on slamming at the same time. What I should be editing with the editors. I should be behind an editor producing, but I can't. There's no way I can be 2 places, 3 places at one time. So I am here in Denver doing this. Now, if you guys don't know this, so last year was the 10th year anniversary of Invisible People. I'm going to ask you an important question. I want you guys to answer. Last year was the 10-year anniversary of Invisible People. This is the 10-year anniversary of the first road trip. My goal was to do something last year, but I couldn't because of mom. And then this year, a goal was to celebrate the 10-year anniversary road trip where I would drive around the country and meet many of you, right? And I really want to do that. I really, really want to do that. But now with this mayor and CEO thing going on, and by the time I am done with all these obligations, it's going to be October. And I don't know if, so here's the question. Do I try to do a 10-year anniversary late in the fall? Because I'd really like to go up to Canada too. And it's going to be really hard to drive around Canada once you hit November and December. It's hard enough to drive around the US, but Canada gets obviously worse weather. Or do I wait until March of next year or May of next year, and then there's more time to plan it? It'd really be the 11th anniversary, but we'll fudge it and just say it's the 10th year. I mean, I did back when I started, I did road trips every year. So, it's oh, Shannon. Oh my gosh. Thank you, everybody that's donating. Again, I don't do this for donations. Greatly appreciated. Badly needed. But thank you. So Do I road trip? That's what I was saying. So I need to go. There's a secret project I've been working on, and I need to get to the UK to finish up the secret project. I also got to get to LA. I want to do some VR 180 stuff because now those of you that are creators by any chance or video people or media people, I learned a lesson when I went in to do the VR 180. It's really cool. It's great. But the way the Insta 360 Evo is, it's really easy to operate. I didn't need to hire a cameraman. I could have done it. Or, with at the end, there is a gentleman, Peter might be watching. He's a wonderful supporter of Invisible People, ended up being co-producer of the videos, wonderful guy to work with. Peter and I could go and record these videos and do them right. So the videos coming out soon are really going to be awesome. But we're all perfectionists. I think they could be better. I'm spilling stuff on my laptop. That's not going to be any good. Hey, Josh, I would like to do. Oh my gosh. I've been ranting for a while. I just go to catch up on the chat, and you guys are still back there. Becca, you love the 101? Oh my gosh. To be honest, I like the 101 better than the 405. 405 is the worst freeway in Southern California, as far as I'm concerned. The 101 above Hollywood to the valley, that's bad. And then the 5 going down into downtown 101, that's, yeah, it's all bad. Hey, John, I'm sorry you're looking for a job. It's so tough anymore. That's the thing is, it drives me crazy because one of the first responses people always say is get a job, get a job, get a job. And I'm 58. If I wasn't doing this and this, I don't make any money doing this. So but anyways, if I didn't have Invisible People, to be honest, and I'm going to be honest. So there's probably enough money coming in that I could pay myself. Instead, what I decided to do was pay writers, and a couple of them are homeless, and to grow Invisible People, because it's really, did you guys see, we hit 270,000 subscribers. Thanks to you. You guys did that. Oh my gosh, 270,000 subscribers. That's thanks to you. Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you. And 30 million views in the last year. We're actually coming up on 60 million views in 10 years, but it wasn't until about 2 years ago that I really started paying attention to YouTube and our growth started spiking. So Bennett, I'm going to add on to your shelter for all that it has to be housing for all, because shelter alone is, even how, we just got to get everybody into, some place that's adequate for humans, that provides privacy. One of the things that drives me crazy about the tiny home movement is so many of them are just boxes, right? Cooper, whose videos on Invisible People, her movie is, I think I linked. Oh, I gotta go change the link because her movie is now on Amazon. Or talks about, they did this tiny home project in San Francisco, and they were, I'm gonna swear, I'm trying not to swear. They were shacks, no bathroom, just a box. Who wants to live in a box? That's warehousing, you know? And I saw this in Syracuse. There was a woman that wanted tiny homes more. She didn't care about helping people. She just wanted tiny homes, you know? And tiny homes got sexy all of a sudden. And, you know, we got to put people first. It's not housing first, it's people first. Alan Graham from Community First is really who taught me this. Anyways, sorry, I was kind of riffing off a comment here, and I was going to go down this hole that I might not come back from. So thought I'd get back to the comments. So AJ asks about, and I get this all the time. Can we talk about Andrew Yang's 1,000 a month? Can we talk about it right now, and then nobody will ask me ever again? Please, can we talk about if you cannot find an apartment for 1,000 a month? What is 1,000 a month gonna do? Well, first off, let's back it up. Andrew Yang, and I believe he has good intentions, is talking about universal basic income. I believe in universal basic income. I think it's something that this country is going to have to look into. In other countries, $1,000 is a joke because you can't live off $1,000. I mean, we met David today. He's on Social Security. He probably gets 700-800. You know, he can afford 400 maybe on rent. There's nothing to go to rent. So you get $1,000. Let's say you find someplace that is $600 to rent. That gives you $100 a week. Have you gone grocery shopping? Have you seen the cost of food, gas, anything? You can't live on $100 a week, right? But here's the thing. Please, every time you see somebody or read somebody talk about universal basic income, say universal basic health care. We're never going to get to universal basic income until we get universal basic health care first. I lose my health care. What is today? I lose my health care in about 20 days, 30 days, right? The thinking that we are going to give people $1,000 a month when we can't even give people health care is ridiculous. It's a pipe dream. It's never, ever going to happen. What we need to do is flip the conversation about universal basic income and start talking about universal basic health care. Let's get the health care first. Okay, what's going to happen in 5 to 10 years is automation is going to kill most jobs. I went to a car rental place last night. They even sent me an email as I was getting there that there's no employees, that you're going to deal with a kiosk. There are robots being made for fast food. There's robots being made to be construction workers, clerks at Walmart or Amazon or any kind of store are a thing of the past. Jobs are going away. Okay. They're going away. What's funny is, you know, I think everybody knows this, right? By now, robots are coming, but everybody thinks, oh, now my job, they can't replace my job, so we don't have to worry about it. You know, I thought the one job that is going to not be affected by computers was caregiving, because I do a lot of caregiving for my mom. And how could a robot do that, right? And they're actually building robots to be caregivers, right? There's no job that's safe in 5 to 10 years. And if you're somebody from the homeless services, right, there's this big conference coming up, National Alliance to End Homelessness. Okay, I'm gonna do this is going to be an official rant, and I'm not just going to talk about NEH. I'm going to just talk about how behind homeless services, the conversation homeless services is having now about affordable housing should have been the conversation 5 years ago. It totally didn't see it. Elderly homelessness is exploding. I walked the streets of Denver for a couple hours. I have stitches in my back. I couldn't do a lot today. Mostly elderly homeless people. It's exploding. People like Robert Edgar, people like Robert Edgar, those little things like that are going to come back and haunt me because somebody's going to make a video or something or whatever. This is what I hate about live because all the mistakes go through. But Robert Edgar was talking and screaming and yelling, and I help amplify that. And there's others like Dr. Jim Withers that have been saying for 10 years that elderly homelessness is going to be a crisis and it's going to tax social services. And you know what? Just now, they're doing research. And maybe a couple of units are being built. They should have been doing this 10 years ago. My point is the homeless services sector they don't look at what's coming, right? So let's get back to automation. So there's this conference coming up, National Alliance to End Homelessness. I guarantee nobody will be talking about it. In fact, they'll be talking about workforce development. Let's get more homeless people trained to be dishwashers or forklift drivers, jobs that are going away. They're going to be applauding programs that are creating those jobs. And I get it. It's tough because right now those jobs are there. So we should be helping people get out of homelessness to get those jobs. But in 5 years, those jobs are gone. What do we do? Well, one of the things is you have to be flexible. You have to be, I have had 4 or 5 different careers in my adult life. And I think we have to, like, for instance, liberal arts degrees is probably much more valuable than it was 10, 20 years ago. But nobody's going to be talking about how automation is going to severely impact poverty and homelessness. I mean, even case managers, right? A homeless person is probably in 5 to 10 years going to talk to a robot. Even case managers and executives and you're out of a job too. Don't think that you're going to still have a job because you work in social services. Those jobs are going too. And nobody in homeless services is talking about it. And guess what? History repeats itself. Homeless services has been totally ignorant to what's coming since I've been connected to homeless services, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, like you couldn't see the housing crisis coming. We've been screaming about elderly homelessness for a decade, and just now you're doing research, and automation. Trucks are going to drive themselves in. They already do now. Trucks already drive themselves now. They're capable of it. In 5 to 10 years, there's going to be 4 million truckers out of a job. There's going to be 7 million data entry clerks out of a job. And we're not talking about it in homeless services at all. So Andrew Yang's $1,000 a month, I agree, universal basic income, but $1,000 a month is not even close to enough to provide housing and any quality of life. And this is a big and, until we have universal basic health care, shut up about $1,000 a month, because it's not going to happen. First off, the same political will that roadblocks health care for all, you think they're going to approve Andrew Yang's $1,000 a month? Come on, it ain't going to happen. Secondly, healthcare, we need, I think, United States, and I'm not one of these geeks with stats and all this stuff, you know. I got 24 years sober and I can't even remember where I parked my car. But, you know, I'm going back to the chat. Ran over. Well, I like that. Somebody, humanity first. Hey, Skid Row Joe, thank you. So, Tim, I don't disagree. No, I do disagree. I mean, everybody is unique and different. Tim here says you have to work on homelessness as an individual basis. And there are a lot of, you know, one of the most hated sayings to me is nonprofits. I'll say one person at a time, one house at a time, one family at a time, one coffee cup at a time. It's like the most overused saying in the nonprofit sector. At a time, one, you know, come on. But it's housing. We have to get housing. I was in a chat with on Twitter today with a wonderful woman who I've never met her in person, but from what I've seen, she's very knowledgeable in homelessness. And she was responding, well, we need housing, not shelters. They all say, oh, we need housing, not shelters. There's no fucking housing. There is no fucking, I can go and buy I went and looked it up, right? Type in houses that you can buy on Amazon. You can buy houses now on Amazon. Some of them look really nice and they're not that expensive. So what's stopping us? You know, back to the $1,000 a month. If we can't get houses off Amazon, the political pressure, I mean, you know, you could buy everybody a $30,000 house off Amazon. You need support services too. Come on, housing. We need housing. Yes, everybody has individual needs that, you know, probably need to be addressed. But if they're not in housing, see, that's the thing. It's one of the reasons that I'm so, if the homeless services sector 5 years ago had gone all in on housing, right? Then look at the, you know, hopefully we would have had more housing now. I mean, you know, Nan Roman, I like Nan. She wrote a USA article that we need the sense of urgency for housing. Why wasn't she saying that 5 years ago? You know, come on. Anyways, Bill asked, where's my car? Jesse, are you talking about me? Not sober. I actually have this August 24th. It will be 25 years. I am completely sober. I just get excited because, I mean, I don't know what the data is every place, but like in Los Angeles, 918 people died last year. And the homeless services want to go around saying, look, we're doing better. We're doing better. And they are. Homeless services in most cities are doing better than they ever had, but they missed it. They missed the affordable housing crisis. They missed elderly homelessness. They're going to miss automation killing jobs. You know, we've got, yeah. So Tina's talking about how a lot of this is intentional. And, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am not. So, if many of you probably may have seen the Paul Bowden interview where we talked about it being intentional. So, I believe it was intentional by Reagan and the Republicans to cut funding to affordable housing in the 80s. I believe that was intentional. I don't think the homeless services that started up as a result was intentional. It was just cause and effect. That's what I believe. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe because I still want to believe the best in people. But I was talking to a lawyer in Florida who works on eviction stuff in New York City, and she said eviction court in New York City has been weaponized by rich landlords to make money off the poor. You look what's going on in Flint, Michigan. Now, privatized prisons. People have been making money off the poor. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't believe that homeless service is intentional. I will agree that I believe the homeless sector does perpetuate itself. I don't believe it's intentional. I don't believe anybody's going, let's make money off of homelessness. I don't think that's the case. I think we've been programmed as a sector to go, oh, elderly homelessness? Robert Edgar's been talking about that for 5 years. Oh gosh, maybe we can't just build houses. We got to fund research first. And then we need to fund more research about the research. And then maybe, you know what? Proposition, and I apologize, Los Angeles. I believe the United Way. I believe the people that told me Proposition HHH. And again, talking about good people, I believe they believed it. So I don't think anything was intentional. I really hope. I mean, if there was a case where it's corruption, this might be it. Because all this money came in, people voted for more taxes, and in 3 years, not one unit has been built. And it was for 10,000, and now the mayor says it's only going to be for 5,000. Ugh. Wow, the British challenge. That I wish we had that here. And Becca, oh my gosh, Becca, thank you very much. Oh, Becca's sharing about her landlord, and that's we live in some scary times. I believe so. I'm a glass half full thinker, and many of you have seen my Koreatown videos. Jane Lane is amazing. She's on our board. Seema, I might be saying it wrong. The Selah, the Silver Lake. I wish there was more committees. I used to be thinking it was the faith-based org. I thought faith-based orgs would, stop this, coercion, win the loss to Jesus stuff, and they would step up and we be because governments are just the bureaucracy they're stuck on, stupid. But I don't see the faith. There's some wonderful. I highlighted a ministry in Dallas that took like 75 people from under a bridge and put them into tiny houses that were decent with bathroom. If the tiny house doesn't have a bathroom, come on. Gosh. Bathrooms. So, yeah. But now I think it's community action groups. I think community action groups are really, because I don't want to. You look at what's coming and it's scary. The affordable housing crisis isn't going to be fixed anytime soon. Automation is going to kill jobs. The government is really stuck on stupid. So it's up to us, isn't it? So what are we going to do about it? First is we have to advocate for more affordable housing. Without housing, I mean, it's I don't, it's just crazy. Okay, what am I missing in the chat? I see Addie is keeping things in. Hey, Rico Williams. I think, hi, Rob Williams. Hey, Bliss. So, death due. You know what? You're right. Being born in America, waking up. I mean, we're privileged. We're blessed. Billy Reed, I have no idea what this give to hobo thing is. I don't know about the other homeless people in our chat room, but I have always found hobo a little bit offensive. Oh, God's truth, Washington, it's so out of range for seniors. And I remember over the last 10 years, several times, talk of them cutting Social Security. Okay. So many, and Serenthopoli. Sorry if I don't. Everybody has these cool YouTube names, and I have stupid brain. You're saying Andrew Yang wants his UBI to universal basic income to stack on top of Social Security. That makes sense, but we need Medicare and Medicaid and healthcare and to be there. Forget. Please just forget the UBI, universal basic income. And again, I'm going to repeat myself for anybody that knew that just came in. When somebody mentions UBI, universal basic income, change the conversation to universal basic healthcare, because we need universal basic healthcare. And we're never going to get to universal basic income until we get universal basic healthcare first. Nature Boy. Wow. Nature Boy says, being a hobo is a choice, like your choice to wear silly glasses. So, first off, thank you very much for the compliment on my silly glasses. And second, have you used the toilet recently? You know, like you close the door and you sit down and you take a crap in peace in private. I mean, maybe you have brothers and sisters or a spouse or a girlfriend knocking on the door because they want their turn. But for the most part, you're alone in that bathroom taking a dump like you should be. And have you tried this thing called a shower? It's amazing. It's wonderful. You take off your clothes, you get into the shower, you clean all up, maybe you sing a little bit, and you have privacy. Wonderful, wonderful. No homeless person said, I want to go crap outside. I want to live without showers. No. Now, homelessness is a choice. It's your choice for not advocating for more affordable housing. But don't for a second think that anyone wants to live without indoor plumbing. It's wonderful. Taking a dump with a door closed in privacy is one of the best blessings a human being can experience. So every time somebody says, oh, it's their choice, they want to be homeless. Yeah, talk about indoor plumbing. When's the last time you took a squat down there and, enjoyed a good bowel movement, right? Come on, nobody wants to be without indoor plumbing. But Nature Boy, thanks for the kind words about the glasses. I do agree they're silly, and this is a choice. Homelessness is not. Hey, Lady T, hello, hello. I know, April. I mean, people all the time, like, they want to be homeless. Well, have you tried going to the bathroom behind a McDonald's dumpster every day, every day, every day, not just once in a while, every day? No, nobody wants to be homeless. AJ, I'm going to practice what I preach. You're bringing up Andrew Yang's 100,000 a month or 1,000 a month, and I don't know if you're talking for it or positive because you're wanting people to look it up. But every time I hear universal basic income, I am going to start talking about universal basic healthcare because universal basic income is a pipe dream until we have universal basic healthcare. Nature Boy, you're just here to troll. Bye. Well, Jennifer, if Yang calls for Medicare for all, that's what he should be going for because universal basic health care is not going to happen until we have health care. And the guy seems smart. He knows that, what it is. So here's this thing, and please pay attention to this. Richard Nixon did not start the Environmental Protection Agency because he cares about the environment. He wanted your vote. Why do you think Yang is offering 1,000 a month? He's going after Trump's base because people go, oh, I'm going to vote for him. I'll get 1,000 a month. It's for your vote, you know, and you got to be careful because now there's so many Democratic candidates all talking about housing, and they all are. What you have to do is look at who is the person that's going to make it happen, that isn't all talk. And they say this stuff to get your vote, and what they do is they poll. They poll, do focus groups, and they see what these target demographics of people want. What is it that you want? I mean, Trump's the king of this, that he polls and researches. They spend millions of dollars and they figure out who it is to target that he can get to vote and what he has to say. And then he goes and says it, and then the people vote for him. It's the same with Yang and his $1,000, right? I mean, it's a pipe dream. Yeah, I wish it would happen, but I would know that universal health care for everyone has to happen first. Yang knows that too, but he's doing the $1,000 a month to get you all to vote. And it's not going to happen. It's not. I mean, in 10 years, after truckers lose their job, after pharmacists lose their job, after librarians lose their job, after case managers lose their job, after middle managers and CEOs in the homeless sector lose their job, they're going. All jobs are going, right? When those jobs are gone, universal basic income will be a hot topic that is possible. Now he's just using it to get your vote. Jennifer, I get it. I get it. He's really thought out about the plan, right? 1,000. Look, Jennifer, 1,000 a month, and I appreciate you guys are very zealous, and it's working because he's got Yangites, right? He's got all these people that believe him, and that's what politicians do. I'm just saying $1,000 a month doesn't get me into housing and a quality of life. So right there's a strike. Number two, without universal basic health care first, the people that pass, there's this thing called Congress, and it's half these guys and half those guys. They're never, ever going to pay to vote universal basic income. How do I know this? They fight over universal basic health care. You think the Republican Party, who does not want people to pay for anybody's health care but their own, is going to give everybody $1,000 a month? Come on. Yang could have the most detailed plan in the world. And please, I'm going to leave this video up. Send him this. You know what I mean? He can, and I think he's a nice guy. And I think it's great he got on the debates because he's not funded by, the major parties and everything. And it shows the American system still works. I think all that stuff is great. But the reality is, you know what? Without universal basic health care, so there's these people in Congress, they don't want to pay for people's health care. They don't want to pay for anybody's health care. Their idea is have the government not the government, businesses get richer, have the corporations get richer, tax cuts for the wealthy. They believe in trickle down economics, which doesn't work, and that they will supposedly hire more people jobs are going to robots, so none of it's going to work. But that's what they think. They don't want to pay for anybody's health care because they want corporations to get tax cuts, and then the money trickles down supposedly, and there's more jobs for people, and they pay for their own health care. It doesn't work. It doesn't. And until we get universal basic health care, forget the UBI conversation. And I've talked about this to death. And Addie, it's fine. Leave AJ. I know AJ is slamming me, and that's fine. I like difference of opinion, okay? And I know people aren't going to agree with me, and that's great. I don't censor people. We censor people for racist comments, and we censor people if there's personal attacks. But if you want to say I'm full of shit, feel free to say I'm full of shit, because often I am. Thank you, Jennifer. I respect her too, and I even respect Andrew Yang. Like I said, I mean, he's done amazing, and it shows that this country still works. Vegmatic, yeah, it's the same thing. That's the big difference I see in the UK. Addie, I got him out of here. He's gonna do the same thing. In the UK, the big difference is you don't see the people on the streets with crutches and wheelchairs like you do here. I saw several people here with wheelchairs. It was really bad. In every city, you don't see that as much in the UK and Canada because there's healthcare. Hey guys, we've gone past. I'm going to stay on a little bit longer. I'm not going to talk about Andrew Yang or universal basic income anymore. I've said it. When you bring up UBI, I'm going to talk about healthcare. Okay. So let's drop all that. Okay. 5 minutes. We're going over. 5 minutes left. I looks like I'll be around next Sunday, so we'll do it again. You know, love to hear anything you'd like to talk about. If there's a chance where maybe I can, I thought this campaign was going to be different, and I didn't schedule a lot. And you know, so I would love to maybe do some live streams from homeless camps or different things. So I don't know what's going to happen next Sunday. I know you guys like that. So maybe I'd like to do more of it whenever possible. Love your, share your ideas. Hey, what do you look forward to this coming week? How about ending on that? So for me, I am looking forward to, I haven't been in Denver in a long time. I love Denver. I have some memories here when I was a kid. So I'm really looking forward to walking around Denver and handing out socks to a lot of new homeless people. Okay, I'm going to do this one more. So Sarah Anthopoli said once, she goes, look, if you really propose to care about poor people, look into Andrew Yang more. You seem way too sour on him for knowing so little. Look, I'm sure he's fine. I think a universal basic income is going to happen. It's just too early. I'm trying to be logical, right? The same people that are governing Congress right now will not allow universal basic health care. So there isn't a chance ever right now that they're going to allow universal basic income. You got me talking about it again. It's nothing against Andrew Yang. It's nothing against, I'm sure his ideas are brilliant. It's common sense. People in America need health care. We don't have health care. The people that govern America don't want us to have health care because they don't want us to pay for it. Andrew Yang can say everything he wants. That doesn't change. The same people that are in office governing our country do not want us to have universal basic health care. That's a fact. Those same people are never going to allow universal basic income. So universal basic health care has to come first. The reason is that means that the right people are in office to vote in universal basic income. Universal basic income is going to happen in 10 years. It's the only way because there's going to be no jobs. Andrew Yang right now, it's just too early. You don't have the right people in office. I'm just saying, where on Twitter, on this chat, all the time, everybody's, have you seen Andrew Yang? Have you talked to Andrew Yang? Have you done universal basic income? Come on, folks. The people that make the laws are never going to pass universal basic income now. 10 years, maybe. They are not going to pass it now. And I watched the debates. I thought, anyways. So, ceratopathy, and I apologize, I can't see well or read your name well. I'm not totally being, my cynicism isn't against Andrew Yang. It's against our country. Our country should be working for the people. Our country should be there providing housing, healthcare, and some kind of quality of life. But right now, the people at the top that make the laws, they're not. And that is going to take years to change. And it's up to you, all of you, to vote in the people that affect that change. You can vote in Andrew Yang. He's not going to be able to do much now. I mean, it's just, it's Andrew Yang is not going to win. He's just not. And even if he did, because our country has these checks and balances, supposedly, universal basic income doesn't stand a chance. And the proof of that is we don't have health care. So again, I'm going to say it one last time. I'm not cynical about Andrew Yang. I'm cynical about the people that govern this country that don't care enough about us to provide health care and basic income. Hopefully that clarifies that. And on that note, I am going to do one last check through here. Hey, Scott Punk. Hey, Rico. You're welcome. British Challenge, I hope to. I was looking at September, but I don't know. It's thank you, everybody, and guys, have a great night. Have a great week, and I will see you all next Sunday.